Nagato. Got no father like I'm Naruto. Keep the blade on me, Ichigo. Who really wanna go toe for toe? GTR from Tokyo. Diamonds whipping up on the stove. Lucky man like a 4-leaf clove. Diamonds wanna go.
Hey everyone, it's me Nagato's Adventure. Hope you guys are having an awesome day for today. And as the title states, I'm going to be showcasing on how to play PS2 ISO games on Multiman in 2019. And this method is only for custom firmware systems only. So such things as if you are on the latest version of Rebug, then you could do this method. However, if you're using HEN or HFW, or if you know you're on HFW 4.84 or 84.85, you cannot do this method only due to the fact that on PlayStation 2 ISOs cannot strictly run on HEN enabled systems. They basically have to be packaged in by PKGs, and they have to be encrypted as iso.bin and .enc files. So if you guys are still wondering on how to do this on HEN systems, don't click off the video just yet. I have a solution for you guys as well in the card that we'll showcase right now, and I'll have this video in the link in the description below. I will show you guys in another video, or you could click off this video and check out my other video if you on a HEN enabled PlayStation 3, and you can play PS2 games ISOs that way. It's almost like the same method, however you just gotta basically take your PS2 games in ISO format and encrypt them as PKG files to run them on your HEN enabled system. And as well, that method does work with custom firmwares as well. Just this method is strictly just the ISO dump itself, so that's why it's strictly only for custom firmware PS2s, for PS3s. Well, all that fun stuff getting out the way as well, I do highly recommend to go ahead and check out my social medias so you know the latest hacking guides and tutorials I'll drop on my channel. The best way on how to know when I drop my latest guides and stuff like that is by being subscribed, of course, hitting that notification button, and always following me on my Twitter, because that's when I usually update when I drop my latest tutorials for you guys to see and watch on a daily basis. As well, if you do want to be in the mix of things, you could go ahead and feel free to join my community, aka my Discord. You could join via in the link in the description below, or as showcased here on the screen, you could just type in a link right there to join. Not only you can get support for this topic, so let's say if you need help on any of the topics I talk about, whether it be for the PlayStation 3, the PS4, Vita, I have support sections in my Discord. But if you just wanted to meet new people from the hacking and modding community, you can, and you can get the useful homebrew download links for your respective console. So if you need links to like such things as RetroArch, Multiman, if you're messing with the Vita, stuff like Vita Shell and Adrenaline, I have links all throughout my Discord that you could just ask for, and it's kind of a hub to get all your homebrew from. Well, all that getting stated as well in terms of the Discord stuff, if you do want to support my channel, you could become a Patreon, and basically you could join become a Patreon by typing that link right as showcased on the screen. I'll have also the link in the description below. By becoming a Patreon, that means you are supporting my channel, and you will have to basically donate to me. It could just be like $1, $2, or $3, but by supporting my channel, it helps with the overall development, and it will continue to bring quality content for you guys. As well, if you do want to support my channel, you could also feel free to donate via my PayPal, and any of the money that I may receive from my fans and supporters will go straight back into my channel. So it will help me things such as just the overall development. So if basically help me purchase items such as a better sound quality tools like a microphone, a camera, any devices like that, or even a console, so I could showcase and keep the upkeep of this channel running, since it does take a lot of research and time to produce these type of videos for you guys to watch. But as always, it's always purely optional to donate, and I still appreciate everyone who just watches my channel anyways. But with that being stated, in terms of the donation side of things, we could go ahead and get started on today's prerequisites. So first things first, for the prerequisites for the PlayStation 3, you need a modded PlayStation 3 that's already on custom firmware such as Rebug 4.84 kex. This is what I am using for today. If you're not on a jailbroken system, I will have like a link and guide that you could check out on their official website on how to basically do that. But I'm assuming you already have a modded PS3 that's on custom firmware, not HFW or HEN, but custom firmware. And as well, you need basically the latest versions of Multiman and WebMan. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing both on how to set this up for WebMan and Multiman, so I'll have both of those links in the download description below, and any items that I state will be in the download description as well. You need a USB stick that is formatted to FAT32, and you basically need any compatible PS2 ISO. Not all games will work with this method, so basically depending on what PlayStation 3 you have. So if you have like the original 20 GB model, or like that 60 GB model that comes with the PlayStation 2 emulation and has like the emulation chip on the motherboard, that means you could probably play a lot more PS2 games. But for example, I'm using my PlayStation 3 Slim, so of course, if you guys know and you know been into the PlayStation 3 history or just know the scene about it, PS3 Super Slims and Slims cannot play PS2 games unless they came out like the official PS3 store or PSN store, excuse me. But yeah, there was no backwards compatibility. It was just straight up emulation, and it was only via for the PSN store. However, with this method, you can run with PS2 ISOs. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the video. But the next thing you'll need, it's optional of course, but you need your game's box art. So if you want more of a cleaner look in Multiman, or just give, you know, some pizzazz to in Multiman so you can see your game and also your game's cover art, I'll talk a little bit about that. But I'll recommend, if you want to go get your game's box art or cover art, just go on Google, type your game's name. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing two games. I'm going to be doing Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, and I'm going to be doing Midnight Club Double Edition Remix. And to get your game's box art, all you got to do is just type your games in Google and just basically say Kingdom Hearts 1 PS2 box art, and that's how you can find it. I do recommend getting the highest quality picture, or try to find a picture that's in highest quality, since it will look better in Multiman instead of like a grainy picture. But with that being stated as well, you'll need FileZilla FTP client, and I'll explain a little bit why in a second. So in terms of FileZilla FTP client versus using a USB stick, if your game you know, is a certain size over 4 GB, basically you will have to transfer via with FileZilla FTP client, and not a USB stick that is formatted to FAT32, since FAT32 systems are, you know, or basically it can't take files that are over 4 GB in size. With that being stated as well out the way, we're going to go ahead and get started on some other prerequisites, which is basically you'll need either Paint or Photoshop. I'm going to just be using Paint for this method, and this is just going to be to resize our PS2 cover art dimensions. So if you did find your PS2 cover art as showcase, or what I was talking about earlier, these are the dimensions that it has to be formatted by. So it has to be 800 by width and 1140 by height, and that's where we have to basically format our cover art and size. I'll get a little bit more on how to do that in the video. I just like to state all of the prerequisites so you guys kind of have a heads up on what we're doing for today. So as showcased here, then I want to go ahead and state some disclaimers. So if your game, as I stated before, is over 4 GB in size, you'll have to transfer your game over a FileZilla FTP client, since a FAT32 USB can't take files over 4 GB. As well, to get full PlayStation 2 emulation support, you need to be on the latest version of Rebug custom firmware, since we need to toggle Cobra mode to enable PS2 emulation, and this is what we need for this process as well. You need the latest version of Rebug Toolbox that corresponds with your Rebug firmware. So if you're on Rebug 4.82, you need to use basically the Rebug Toolbox that was for that firmware, so 4.82. Since I'm on 4.84, I'm going to be using Rebug Toolbox for 4.84, and this does work with even PlayStation 3 Slim models, since I am using a Keck 2001A, which is a PlayStation 3 that is a Slim model. And as showcased here, I will have a link, and it's probably rolling on the screen right now, and this is a list of all of the, not basically all PlayStation 2 games, but a lot of PS2 games that has or showcase a compatibility list. So not all PS2 games may work. They may be having, like, you know, graphical glitches in the game. Some games probably won't even run, or they may have like bad frame rates and stuff like that, or you can't finish the game without having the game patched in some shape or form, or some games may just run flawlessly without you know, any graphical errors. So I know Kingdom Hearts runs just fine. Midnight Club Double Edition Remix runs just fine for this process. So there are a lot of games that does work with this method, and unfortunately, like games like Need for Speed Underground 2, they run very laggy. Some of the .hack code games I know doesn't run really well. Gran Turismo 4 kind of runs a little iffy in certain gameplays. So it all depends on what game you're trying to choose. So I do highly recommend, if you gonna try to do a bunch of PS2 games, read the compatibility list first instead of just wasting your time downloading PS2 games or dumping your own. And from there you could just pick and choose which ones that will definitely work with your system. Well, all that fun stuff getting out the way as well, I just want to give a special thanks out to all the PlayStation 3 devs who helped with this project. So from Team Rebug, Team Cobra, anybody who has helped basically make PlayStation 2 emulation a thing for this. So shouts out to you guys. For all that fun stuff getting out the way, if you need any help, you can feel free to join my Discord. And with all that being said, we're going ahead and get started on the PC side of things. Alrighty guys, so we're back onto the PC, and I do apologize for my intros being really long. I just like to get really in depth with any topic I'm doing, so it's more easier for you guys to understand the whole process. But assuming that you guys read through the or watched, not read, but watched through the whole prerequisites, we could go ahead and get started on the PC side of things first. So of course, any of the files I will have, excluding the games, will be in the link in the description down below. But as showcased here, I'm going to go through each file like I do normally in all my videos, and then explain what we have to do to get this all set up. So as showcased here, I have my two games of choice. I have Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, and I also have Midnight Club 3 Double Edition Remix. And if I hover over them, you could tell my size, or the file size for these games, are different. So when I hover over Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, the size is 3.29 gigabytes versus Midnight Club 3 Double Edition, which is a pretty large game for the PS2, is almost 8 gigabytes, so it's 7.95 as well. I'll explain a little bit more in a second why we can't transfer Midnight Club Double Edition due to the size, if y'all guys remember for the prerequisites. But as showcased here, I also got my cover art for my games. So here is Midnight Club Double Edition Remix cover art, and here is Kingdom Hearts Final Mix cover art. And we basically have to resize this to the dimension. So as showed here, Midnight Club Double Edition Remix is already formatted into its right size, so it's 800 width by 1140 by height. But what we need to do is go ahead and fix this for the cover art for Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, so it's the same dimensions as this. So I'll have it written down here as well on my notepad if y'all guys forget, and I'll show you guys on how to basically format your or basically reformat your cover art or box art into this dimension with Paint, or you can use Photoshop, but for today I'm just going to be using Paint as well. Here are the three files we need for our PlayStation 3 that's on custom firmware to get this all set up. So here's Multiman. This is basically going to help us load our games and paste our games within that section right here. Here's also WebMan mod, and I'm going to be showing you guys on how to play PS2 games with this method. And here's Rebug Toolbox, since we have to re-enable rebug mode and all that fun stuff. As well, we have FileZilla FTP client. I already have it installed in my PC, but I will leave the link. And basically for the actual installer itself, it's just like a regular exe. You just install it like any normal PC program, whether if you're on micro or Windows 10, Windows 7, or using like a Mac computer. I'll have all the links for that stuff in the link in the description below. But assuming I got through all of the files, what we're going to do is go ahead and focus on our cover art first. So assuming that you want to do like the cover art route and you want to have a more clean look to your setup when doing this video with Multiman, what we're going to do is go ahead and right click over our picture, go scroll all the way down to open with, and then we're going to open this up in Paint. So here's my game cover art for the PlayStation 2. What we need to do is go into resize, go into pixels right here, maintain aspect ratio, turn that off. And what we need to do is go ahead and make it 800, and let me just verify on my notepad txt, and make it by 1140 by the vertical. So go ahead and put 1140, and this is how the game should be sizing. So what we're going to do is go ahead, file, save as JPEG, and then what we're going to do is put it onto our desktop. So that's what I'm going to do here, and then just go ahead and hit OK. So we got our cover art done. I'm gonna go ahead and minimize out of this real quick, and now what we're gonna do, let's verify. Okay, yeah, we're gonna delete this one since that's the PNG, this is the new one. So yeah, here is our new cover art, and as you see, if I hover over it, you can see that it's 800 by 1140 dimensions, as this one is 800 and 1140 by dimensions. So if you're doing this for multiple games and you want cover art, you just got to repeat that process. But what we need to do now is take our cover art and we need to rename it exactly to our game's ISO's name. So for example, you see how Midnight Club 3 Double Edition Remix, and I have .iso. You basically need to write it as the exact same file. Just make sure the extension is, of course, is a PNG file. So for example, you see how this has CG1040 and a bunch of other numbers and stuff. We need to basically rename it to Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, and it has to be exactly, you know, typed in the same way or how you ever have your title ID for your game, only due to the fact this is how WebMan and Multiman reads your game file and then also the cover art for it. Since if you don't have it as the same file name, it's not going to recognize that you're trying to make a cover art for this. So as showcased here, what I'm doing now is typing Kingdom Hearts Final Mix Kingdom Hearts. Let me respell that part since I can't type today. So yeah, here is Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. So as you see, basically it has the different file extensions, but the names are the same. That means we're good to go for this process. So we got our cover art done. What we need to do now is go ahead and drag and drop our game files and also our homebrew to our USB. So as of right now, what we need to do is plug in our USB into our desktop, and we need to go open up File Explorer, go into Sony, and then from here, guys, or excuse me, whatever USB drive you have in, so just go to yours. Mine's name's in Sony, and we need to verify that our thing is on FAT32. So the easiest way on how to do that is go into Properties, and then from here, if your file system's on FAT32, you can automatically start transferring your files over. However, if your thing is on exFAT or NTFS, basically we need to reformat our hard drive. So if you have any important documents on your hard drive, go ahead and back them up either to your desktop or to another USB, since by reformatting it's going to wipe your drive clean. I don't personally care all of these files on here since I already have them backed up. What we need to do right now is just go ahead and reformat our hard drive. So assuming as of right now you backed up your stuff, or you just don't care, or it's a new USB drive, what we need to do is go ahead and hit Format, and then from here where it says File System FAT32, or if it's on NTFS or exFAT, just go ahead and switch to FAT32. Make sure your highest capacity is whatever your USB drive is. For your allocation unit size, go ahead and hit Default. Volume label, this is what you name your USB drive as. I just named mine Sony. Make sure you have quick format toggled on, and then go ahead and hit Start, and then you'll go ahead and see this little notification on the screen saying warning, formatting will erase all your data off your drive. So just verify that you're okay with that, and basically you just hit OK for this process. What is happening now is formatting your USB drive to if it's coming from NTFS, it's converting it to FAT32, and then once it's fully done, basically where it says format complete, all you gotta do is hit OK, and now you will see your USB drive is clear. If you go back into File Explorer, go back on the USB drive, and if you remember, my name was Sony, and you'll see all of my USB contents were here, but now it's not. So what we need to do now, and just to verify it's on FAT32, we just got to right click, go into Properties, and now our file system is now on FAT32. So for example right here, let's try to do the file Midnight Club Double Edition. If you guys remember, it's 7.95 gigabytes. I have enough space to basically transfer it over since it's an 8 gigabyte drive. Look what it will say. So basically, or I guess I don't have enough space, but anyways, you wouldn't be able to transfer this over since a 4 gigabyte or basically FAT32 drives cannot take over 4 gigabytes. If this was NTFS or a exFAT drive, it can, but however, PlayStation 3s cannot read NTFS or exFAT. It has to be formatted to FAT32. However, if I do my Kingdom Hearts Final Mix game, it will be able to transfer it over. So as shown here, it's transferring over Kingdom Hearts Final Mix right now. What I'm going to do is also drag and drop my USB or the cover art for the game as well. And what we're going to do is go ahead, if I put this to the side, we're going to drag and drop Multiman, WebMan, and Rebug Toolbox onto the root of our USB drive. So as of right now, what we need to do is just wait for our game's content to basically finish over, and wait for our homebrew to get finished as well. Once all of this is done, what I'm going to do is go ahead and transfer over to the PC, excuse me, not the PC, but the PlayStation 3, and then get all of our homebrew set up and get our game copied over via with Multiman as well. And then we're gonna come back to the PC, guys, and I'm gonna show you guys on how to transfer PS2 games that are over 4 gigabytes in size. So that's what I'm gonna do here as well. So I'll meet you guys once this is all finished.
A few moments later.
Alrighty guys, so as showcased here, all of my files are into its direct place. So you can see here I have Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, I also have the picture, and I also have all of my homebrew that we need for today's video. What we need to do now is just close out of this, and from here we need to go right click into hidden icons and you safely eject our USB drive. I already know this is mine's right here, so just go ahead and eject it out. Now you'll get this little notification saying that your device can be safely removed. From here, what we need to do is go ahead and take our USB, plug it into our PlayStation 3 into whatever USB port, and then we're going to get started on the PS3 side of things. So I'll meet you guys for that part. Alrighty guys, so as showcased here, we're basically back onto the PlayStation 3. As of right now, your USB should be plugged into your system. What we need to do first is go ahead into Package Manager, go into Install Package Files, and then go into Standard, and then you should see all of your files within here. The easiest way on how to install more files all at once is just hitting triangle over Standard, and now it will install all packages. I already have all of these packages already pre-installed to my PlayStation 3, but just for tutorial purposes, I'm just going to reinstall it for you guys. So right here, that is Multiman, I think just went through, so WebMan is now installing. And then I also am doing a Rebug Toolbox as well, so I'm just waiting for the process to do its thing. And then once we get all of these packages installed via right now, what we're going to do is go ahead and basically run Rebug Toolbox first, since this is where all the magic really happens in terms of the PlayStation 2 emulation. So let's go ahead and run Rebug Toolbox. Alrighty guys, so as showcased here, what we need to do now is scroll all the way to the left of Rebug Toolbox once you're in it, and we need to verify some things. First things first, you need to make sure that you have toggle Cobra mode enabled. You should also have toggle XMB CFW settings enabled as well. And what you want to do is system mode, you want to set it to rebug and not normal, and then hit OK. So once you have all of these settings as I have here showcased on the screen, what we need to do as well is just go into information systems, or under system, go into information system, go ahead and hit X, and if you're already connected to your Wi-Fi, you should see your IP address. What we need to do now is just leave your PlayStation 3 on standby, leave the screen up, and come back to FileZilla FTP client so we could transfer our other game that was 7 gigabytes large, or if your game's over 4 gigabytes, what we're going to do is transfer our game over right now. So I'm going to take Midnight Club Dub Edition, upload it over with FileZilla FTP client, and then it's going to be onto our PlayStation 3 as of right now. So I'll show you guys on how to do that. Alrighty guys, so we're back onto the PC just for a little second right now. We already got Kingdom Hearts Final Mix is done since the game was under 4 gigabytes in size. What we need to do is go and get our game that's over 4 gigabytes in size, which is Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. What I'm going to do from here is take our game, open up FileZilla FTP client. So I'm assuming that you already have it pre-installed, or you just follow the steps on the screen out where I have the link in the description for the exe. But what we need to do is go ahead and type our IP address that was showcased in Rebug Toolbox into the whole section from here. So what we need to do is type in your IP will be different from mine, but mine's is 1.1.2. For the port, you don't have to type in anything. All you got to do is hit quick connect. And then what should happen, it may take a little second, but all your directories shall load up. So as showcased here, you see dev_hdd0, dev flash, and you see all of your contents or all of your partitions on your PlayStation 3. So right now what we need to go to is dev_hdd0, go into this folder right here, PS2 ISOs. You should already have a PS2 ISO folder right here, and this is where you're going to dump your contents in to. So here is Midnight Club. We're going to basically just drag and drop Midnight Club via from here. So all we have to do is drag Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition into PS2 ISO, and we're also going to put the game cover art in here as well. And depending on how fast your internet connection is, I'm using Ethernet for this, so it's much faster than messing with a wireless connection. So my PS3 is directly connected from my PC to my PS3, so the transfer speed will be much faster, but depending on your internet connection speed, it may take a while for it to show up. So as of right now, what I'm going to do is just wait for it to do its thing, and then once the file is fully transferred over, or this game, I think it has 6 minutes to go, what we're going to do is go back into Rebug Toolbox, reset our PlayStation 3s, and then we're going to run Multiman. So I'll meet you guys once all of these files are, successfully transferred over. Alrighty guys, so as showcased here, my Midnight Club game has already been placed into PS2 ISO, and as you've seen here in my successful transfer side folder, both of my games and also the game cover art is already transferred over. So what we need to do now is go back to our PlayStation 3s into Rebug Toolbox, and we need to go ahead and figure out some settings and then reset our device. So let's go ahead and do that. Alrighty guys, so as showcased here, we already got our game that was over 4 GB inside transferred over via with FileZilla FTP client. So what we could do now is just hit circle on our controllers, and now what we want to do, once you verify that all of your settings is just as how I have it right here, into the selector section of Rebug Toolbox, we need to go all the way to restart system and make sure it's a full on and off cycle. So that's what I'm going to do here. So go ahead and hit X, and then once your system has fully restarted, we're going to go back onto our XMB and load up Multiman. Alrighty guys, so as showcased here, basically my PlayStation 3 has fully restarted. So once your PS3 has restarted like mine's, what we need to do is go into Multiman. So that's what I'm doing here. Alright guys, so once you're in Multiman for the very first time, what we need to do is just go ahead and accept the terms of service. I've already read through this before since I've installed Multiman probably over 1,000 times. But once you get through this part, you read the terms of service. What we need to do now is just wait for Multiman to do its thing, so it's applying its standard theme. And then once all of that is done as well, we can already verify if our game is into its correct directory. So if we go to our games column right here, refresh, and then go into retro, you can see Midnight Club Dub Edition Remix is via right here as well. What we're going to do is scroll all the way over to File Manager Multiman Operating System, go into PS3 root, go into dev_htd0, go into PS2 ISO, and then where our game is located at, what we're going to do is basically place our ISO into here as well. And I think I know why my cover art didn't show up, since my game name was named Dub Edition Remix. So I'm just going to go ahead and just name it Remix like this, so it could match up with the file right here. What we're going to do now, and let me just rename this Dub in capital letters, so it won't have any issues running or the cover art showing a WebMan or and whatnot like that. So that's what we're going to do from here. Now what we're going to do is go into PS3 root, dev_USB 001, or depending on what PSP or what port you plugged in your USB stick, it may say USB 006 or 000. As long as you see dev_USB and you see all your contents, that means it's fine. So once we go here, we're going to go hit X over our game, X over our cover art, press circle on our controller, and then copy our contents from here. And now into the PS2 ISO folder, we're going to go ahead and paste in Multiman. So it may take a little while depending on how big your game is. Since it's showcased on the screen right here, it won't take too long. It's going to take 3 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this footage right here. I'll come back in 3 minutes, and once it's fully done, I'm going to refresh our database, and then we're going to test our games and see if they work via with Multiman. And then after that, I'm going to showcase the games working via in WebMan. Alrighty guys, so as showcased here, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix and Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition is now into its correct places. If we hit R1 onto our controller, refresh our database, we should see both our I can't even talk today, our games cover art and also our games in here. So we could verify that our cover arts work, and now what we need to do is just go ahead and run the game. So first game we're going to be testing is Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. So all you have to do is hit X. Now that we just got booted out of Multiman, you can see that we have the PlayStation 2 format disc in. I don't have, the original PS2 disc for this, but it's showcased as it's mounted via right here. So what we're going to do is just run the game like any normal PlayStation 2 or PS3 disc. So let's just go ahead and hit X. And as showcased here, here is Kingdom Hearts Final Mix running in real time on the PlayStation 3. So if I hold down the PS3's button, you can see that my fan is pretty much blaring right now. For some reason, PS2 Games does this, so that is something that you may want to check your fan speeds in WebMan for something like that. However, if you hold down the PlayStation 3 button right here, you can make the screen full screen. I also recommend having smoothing on, since it basically takes the image out and basically all of the jagged edges in game. Since some PS2 games may, you know, look out of date, you can see that Kingdom Hearts is now running fully onto my game, or basically on my PlayStation 3. I'm gonna go ahead and just exit out the game right now, so I'm just going to quit the game, but I did showcase that this game is now running. Next game what we're going to be testing is Midnight Club 3 Double Edition Remix, and we're going to be running that with WebMan. So let's go ahead and exit out of our game. Alrighty guys, so once we backed out of basically Multiman, but of our PlayStation 2 game of choice, what we need to do is go ahead and install WebMan mod. So from here, what we need to do is go ahead and follow the directions of the package. So for the full edition, once you boot into WebMan mod, make sure you hit X and then go ahead and hit L1 for the full edition. So once I boot into X right now, go ahead on your controller and hit L1, and then it's going to enable the full edition. Alright guys, so if you did everything correctly, WebMan should basically state a notification over your PlayStation 3 saying you got the WebMan full version or edition installed, and it will reset your PlayStation 3. What we need to do is go ahead and access one of our users on our PS3 device, and then from here, if we go into WebMan games, which you should already have, you'll see that your PlayStation 2 titles are here. So here's Kingdom Hearts Final Mix and also Dub Edition Remix for Midnight Club, and if you have any PS3 games like that and stuff, you could also see that here. For some reason my cover art is not loading within here, but you could get that fixed all into the WebMan setup. But if you really don't care for seeing your games, you can also use the load S launch menu as well to launch your games as well. But what I'm going to showcase here is all you have to do is open up WebMan, select your game of choice. So what it's doing now is going into dev_std0, loading up our game, and here's Midnight Club Dub Edition running right now. So from here, all we got to do is go click on the PlayStation 2 format disk and hit X. And as showcased here, here is Midnight Club Dub Edition 3 Remix running on the PlayStation 3. So same thing, you could tell that I'm on the PS3 now. If I go into other settings, I can set my screen to full, also have smoothing on, which I usually prefer. Some games I like to have it just normal, but here is one of my favorite all-time PS3 games running on, not PS3, but PlayStation 2 games running on a jailbroken PlayStation 3. So yeah, I basically taught you guys on how to successfully run your favorite PS2 classic games onto your you know, your jailbroken system. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to basically ask in the comment section down below. But with that being said, my name is Nagato and I am signing out. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, I am truly sorry guys. There's one thing before I sign out I forgot to tell you guys on what to do, and it's in terms of save data. So if you guys are trying to play these PlayStation 2 games and want to save your data as well, there's one step that we need to go ahead and do. So into our memory card utility back on our PlayStation 3's X and B, if we go into memory card utility here, press X, we need to go ahead and create an internal memory card. I already have one for PS2, but all we have to do is go ahead and create new internal memory. Make sure it's for PlayStation 2. You can name this memory card whatever. I'm just going to keep it as internal memory card 2. Hit OK. And then once you created your internal memory card, you'll get this little notification on the screen. All you got to do is hit circle, and then what you want to do now is hit triangle, assign slots. So I'm going to do a slot 2 or slot 1. Yours probably be slot 1 since that's the only memory card you will have on your system. But this, whatever assigned slot you have, this is where all of your memory data, or basically your save data, will be located onto your memory card. So as showcased here, I have Kingdom Hearts, already have some save data for this one on my first memory card, but as showcased here, the one I just made now, there is no save data on here. But yeah, that's essentially how you save data with the PS2 ISOs as well. I did forget that in the video, so I do apologize. But with that being said, I am really signing out now. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. I'm sorry that it was, you know, truly long, but I did teach you a lot in this video. So if you guys did enjoy it, hit that thumbs up, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification button. You already know how it goes. But with that being said, my name is Nagato and I'm signing out. Love you guys. Peace.